Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. Today, I don't really ever talk in any meaningful fashion about the work that I do. I talk about the effects of the work that I do. I talk about some of the benefits that I get through doing the work that I do. But recently, we shipped a thing at Netflix called Offline, which enables people to store videos on their, in my case, iOS devices. And it enables them to watch them at a future date without having an internet connection. It's hard to imagine how small and focused the team is at Netflix that actually developed this technology. Now, I had connections with the folks that did the Android development. They're a slightly larger team. But the team that developed this for iOS is a very small team. And we're a group of people where almost all of us have worked together for the past 5 years. And we know and understand a variety of things almost implicitly. When I think about the other possible jobs that I could have in the future, none of them seem really as real or as alive as the work that I do currently. And my part of this work required substantial commitment, many weekends worked through, many late nights. You hear this in short funks. You hear this associated with the lack of short funks in certain periods. But one of the things that I really like about my work on some regard is the secrecy associated with it. And that's in large part through my mother's work while I was a boy. She worked as a diplomat, but also had an intelligence component to her work. And I think the ability to keep secrets for long periods of time is a skill that I quite like to have professionally. And what I find really curious about the work that I do is the way in which I keep secrets, even from my wife, is not the typical way that people behave in these companies. People like to have kind of safe zones. They like to have, I don't know. I mean, it's the whole thing about coming into work and being in a group that has some knowledge. I worked on the new Apple TV with Apple for a number of months, and that was a similar kind of experience, but wasn't as intense as this offline development. Offline really took us only about 5 months to put together, and for a technology with so many pieces, that is a striking thing. In terms of my work going forward, having had this experience ultimately impacts me very similar to having a number of the other previous experiences in my professional life. But it's very difficult to quantify this in any meaningful sense. I don't know of any project that could have the impact that this offline project had. And having done it for a relatively short period of time, but seeing what has come from it, and also the lot of work that follows even after the launch of something like this, I have to reflect quite happily that I was a part of this thing in some really curious and quite fundamental sense. And that's really all that I'm going to say about this thing. But I wanted to put a short funk out there just in case, just to give a little segment, a little idea, a little sliver of some of the stuff that I do in my day job. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.